food voucher. Just spend $50 or more and place your receipt in the box provided, and you will have a chance to win. Plus, shop on double points days. ESA Trading Limited loyalty card holders will earn double points on selected dates every month until the end of year. So shop and earn more points. For terms and conditions and further details, visit our store in Roseville. ESA Trading Limited. We're here for you.
Dominican, enjoy your property, protect your property, you homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
All right, Dominica, stay tuned for the story there. From the preamble, just sitting and talking and taking some notes. You might be amazed. Has this gentleman been duped? His name is Mr. Ken Shillingford, a Dominican living in Guadeloupe for the past 41 years, 42 years. A businessman in Guadeloupe. But a few years ago, he decided to have a business in Dominica. And so the story goes. I hope you pay some attention. As he tells his story. So let me this time, I know Mr. Shillingford is here with his daughter, was a master's in economics from what I gather. She speaks French fluently and studied in Paris, France. But she's not the focus of the conversation this afternoon. Mr. Kent Shillingford is. Mr. Ken Shillingford, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
Yes, good day, sir. Doing good.
Doing
Could be
good.
better, yes.
Well, it was a few weeks ago you tried to reach out to me to tell me your story. Very, very, very interesting story. You said you've been in Guadeloupe for what, 42 years?
Yeah, effectively, I've been living in Guadeloupe for 42 years.
42 years. So you were born in Dominica?
I was born in Dominica. I went to the San Sauvé Primary School, and then we left to Guadeloupe, my two brothers and I.
Okay. So you have family in Guadeloupe?
Yes, absolutely. I have family in Guadeloupe and family as well in
Dominica. Tell us your story. Where did this story begin?
So this story begins as a business person in Guadeloupe, and I understood that Dominica is a powerful area. For example, we're doing business in Guadeloupe. And as a Dominican, to me, it's legitimate to think of coming back home like all Dominicans. In 2004, I decided to come back to my country and set a business in Dominica for exporting. To me, it would be a very good start. When I came back, I was 33 years. Today, I'm 53 years old.
Wow.
So it has been 20 years I've been battling with a situation which I would like to share with the population of Dominica. In 2004, I solicited aid bank for a shed. A shed, yeah, effectively a shed to build a factory. It was a factory to build furnitures for the French market. So it was antique copies, Louis XIV, Louis XV furnitures, and colonial furnitures, which was a brilliant idea. Knowing that in Dominica we have the skills, we have the woods in Dominica, very good woods. We just needed the equipments and the market, which I had already. It was a plus for Dominica, knowing that it's a foreign exchange. And to me, Dominica, that's what Dominica need really for a real development. Knowing that we are between Guadeloupe and Martinique, actually, presently, there's furnitures that we built in Dominica that persons has in France, actually. They use in France. Yes. Because I was working with a boutique in Guadeloupe where they used to have antique copies, and that person had contacts in Guadeloupe. So everything was already fastened. So I solicited aid bank for this area. They told me there's no shed available, but there's a space at the back of the wall. They used to call it at the back of the wall, where is the old, just a old wooden structure, but there's no light, no water. But eventually, if I could clean up the place, build up the area, I could use it, and then they could rent the land to me, which it was okay. So they told me that they were going to clean up the area. After 1-2 months, I saw nothing is happening, and the equipment is already on the way. So I went back to Ian Williams. He was the manager of the Kelik industrial site, to tell him I'm going to move on because the time is ahead. So I took 6 guys with my dumper. So just before that, the first thing I did photos and I did estimation. To have a situation, a visual of the area, and estimation of what existing on the area on the property. So the estimation was $9,500. So I went ahead, we cleaned up the area, and it was a place that was very hostile, knowing that we bounced up with a snake that was about 2-yard snake. So It really is a place that wasn't in a mess. So I cleaned up all the area, I built on it, and we start functioning. And then Ian Williams told me that they'll prepare the contract for me. Okay, so I keep on waiting on this contract. I went to Ian Williams 15 times. I repeat, 15 times for this contract. But this contract is never ahead. There's always something, yes, Shillingford, don't worry, we'll deal that for you and whatever. But I think that Ian Williams had his little plan. Okay, I'm not in his head, but today, when I consider the situation, it was clear. And then when I saw the time is running ahead, and there was a building just opposite where I am presently, which many persons know in Dominica, which they used to name the Cellos Factory, Mr. Celestine. So Ian Williams told me that when I learned that this building was for sale, I solicited Ian's and I told him I'm interested. He told me the building worth $300,000. I repeat, $300,000. So I said it's a good deal, I'm interested. So when I start preparing the documents, I saw somebody occupying the area. So I went back to him. I told him, Ian, you told me that the building is for sale, but apparently there's someone there. He told me, no, don't worry if that's Shillingford, it's okay. Then I saw the person continue, renovating and whatever, and tell me, just for a moment, they're renting that for a moment. So I said, I'm okay. So I said, listen, I'm leaning on his words. At least I lean on his words. But a few times later, I learned that they sold the property. They sold the person to whom they sold the property. He works at the aid bank at the board. He's at the board of direction. He's at the board of direction.
Board of directors, yes.
Effectively,
yes.
Which is somebody between Vickers and Penville. And Ian Williams, his own self, is from Vickers. So I said, listen, he's a businessman. I'm a businessman. He did a good deal. I'm not going to sleep on that. So normally where I am, he's my neighbor. I build on the property. I put water on the property and light. I should have absolutely no problem to purchase where I am. But when this individual arrived in the area, he came to me, we sympathized. And a few times after, we have another neighbor just on the side, which named Loftus Bellot. He's about 40-45 years he's in the area. So he told me that he wanted to put this guy out. I said, put this guy out? What do you mean by putting this guy out? He told me, Shillingford, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. I answered him, sir, I'm a man with principle. With me, person should learn to earn things by merit. Then he left me as Nicodemus left Jesus Christ. Okay? Since from that very first day, that guy used all his influence. Leon LeBlanc, he used all his influence to destroy my business and try to see how he can put me and Loftus Bella out of the area. And then when I saw things was moving along and nothing, no advancement and whatever, so I solicited a lawyer, Miss Boyd Knight. So she told me, Shillingford, how can you be building on a property, occupied in a property, paying your rent, and you have no contract? Stop paying your rent, they will come to you. Effectively, I stopped paying the rent, and Ian Williams came to me and told me, listen, Shillingford, we are going to prepare a contract for you, but you have to pay the errors. I told him, okay, it's not a problem. That's what I'm waiting. I just want to do things correctly. Which the errors came for $10,290, which you can verify.
Yeah, 10,000. Yes, 10,000. Yes, so the receipt is right there.
Yeah, the receipt is right there, $10,290, which I paid.
Yeah.
He prepared a contract for me. Everything is written on the contract. So this contract in question, it's clear on this contract that it's given to Ken Shillingford to build a concrete permanent construction. It's written right here. And on what I paid, I want to really precise to Dominican people. I even overpaid 8 pounds, $1,985. Overpaid. I paid the errors, but I still overpaid an amount of $1,985. On my contract, it's written, the tenant is permitted to construct a permanent concrete structure. Concrete permanent structure. And further, it's written that in event of sale, Ken Shillingford has a priority. That means that 8 bank, they cannot sell to someone else, they can only sell to me if they have intention of selling.
Right.
But it's written on that same contract, if all bills and outstanding is settled with an option to renew. That means that whenever I'm paying my rent and everything, I can renew my contract 100 years if I want. Okay? So when I prepare my plan, I submitted my plan at planning. But by the meantime, Mr. Corbett took office, the general manager of the 8 bank. So I precise that Ian Williams is from Vacas, Leon LeBlanc is between Vacas and Penville, Corbett, he's from Vacas. So you can understand, he said that his boys is inside there. So, he have influence, he can put us out but what he did not know, he didn't know what kind of guy we is dealing. So I didn't let myself impressed by that. Then I received a letter from the 8 bank lawyer, Mr. Isidore, asking me to vacate the property. He's giving me 1 month to vacate the property. To me, it was a letter of intimidation, but I did not let those intimidation really affect me because I know I'm in my rights. I have a contract in my hands. And once I was repairing something on the building, I saw a police officer. He was by Benjo Simmons taking photos. So this police officer in question is a police officer with a square head. His name is Curtis,
police officer.
Police officer, okay? He was taking photos. Still yet, I did not let myself impressed by all those things there because I know I'm in my rights, okay? So then I took the matter to court. I won my case against the 8 bank because I had to stop my activities. I could not do the vanishing. The work wasn't delivered on time. So because of all those pressures there and preventing me from building a structure so that I can really exercise my activities, I had to stop my activities because of all those things there. So once I was in the area and I saw a man with gray beards. He came to me and he told me, when is this old white Frenchman is coming back to Dominica to build my place, to have my place to build my clinic? So when he told me that, I just look at him because I know there's no white Frenchman in the area. And when he saw, I was just looking at him, then he cooled down his temper and he told me, yes, his name is Dr. Kelik. And he gave Leon LeBlanc, the same guy who brought the property, a down payment of $200,000. I repeat what he's told me. 2 weeks before he died, to get him floating in the Cineroso. He gave Leon LeBlanc $200,000 and he had a deal with Leon to give him a property, I think 2 or 3 acres of land somewhere in Portsmouth to compensate the difference. And he told me that Leon LeBlanc told him that there's an all-white Frenchman occupying the place, so he make Dr. Kelik believe he's an old Frenchman that there, but it's me that's occupying the area. So I listened to what Mr. Dr. Kelik was saying, and I told him, then he told me he's an Adventist, and as I was raised in Adventist church, so I said, listen, I can lean on that. I told him, Dr. Kelsik, there is no old white Frenchman there. I'm the one there. He put his hands on his head, say, "Oh my God, that man fooled me. That man took away my $200,000." And then he explained to me how he met Leon Leblanc, the guy who owned Lerican Printers. So he told me that Leon Leblanc jammed his vehicle. He had an accident with Leon Leblanc. And Leon Leblanc started crying to him, telling him, yes, he have no money because he's in divorce and his ex-wife is putting pressure on him and whatever. And Leon Leblanc invited him at this place. So, in talking, and as Dr. Kelsik had that strong desire, I really want to insist on that, a strong desire to build his clinic, because he was just waiting on that, build his clinic and get his wife back to Dominica and live like all Dominicans. Personally, to tell you the truth, we Dominicans, we are living overseas just for the cash. Yeah, just to work. But all Dominicans, the majority of Dominicans are living overseas. We want to live in our country. We want to occupy our space in our country.
So Dr. Kelsik was passionate about coming back
passionate of coming back to his country, because he's a person that had the same nostalgia like my own self. We think about dashing Woti, Kokoti. We want to go to our gardens. We want to, have that taste of our country, what I mean. And Dr. Kelsik, yes. So when he told me his story, when I told him that, he was really disappointed. While he was talking to me, Leon Leblanc was standing in his yard. He saw when Dr. Kelsik was talking to me. He knew he could no longer lie to Dr. Kelsik. I want to tell the 67,400 Dominicans and the 100,000 that live in overseas, you will be the own judge of this matter. I cannot say Leon Leblanc killed Dr. Kelsik. I cannot say he pushed him to suicide, but I'm letting the 67,400 Dominicans and the 100,000 overseas judge the matter for your own self. I went back to Guadeloupe, and 2 weeks later, I received a call from a guy who named Meyer. Meyer is a guy who used to do body work in the area. He's from Layo. He told me, Shillingford, they get a man floating in the Seine Roseau. I said, get a man, a doctor. So in my mind, so somebody tell you something like, in my mind, I thought it's a doctor that went on study and stuff like that. And then when he came back to Dominica, he may met his girlfriend, I don't know, his wife or whatever. He maybe had something maybe, pass wrong and then get wrong in his life. And then he went to, but when he told me a doctor that lived by Leon Leblanc, so I say, my God. So that does stick to the matter. It stick to the matter. As I want to say to the people of Dominica, I cannot say Leon Leblanc killed Dr. Kelsik. I cannot say he pushed him to suicide.
This would be very serious allegations. Huh?
That is serious allegations. I'm saying what Dr. Kelsik told me. So I'm letting the 67,400 Dominicans analyze the situation and do your own judgment. Let's be clear on that. I want to tell the Dominican people, I took the matter to court. I won my case against the aid bank. When I solicited my lawyer, Miss Boyd Knight, that I want to take the matter to court, she told me that, Shillingford, I can put pressure on them if you want, but if we have to go to court, I will not be able to assist you, because she was Madam Speaker. You can understand that is a political thing again. I'm not in political party. I'm not partisan at all. But from now on, I can say I'm in the politics. Yes, because listen, that's the way that move. You know what I mean? Knowing that individual, the Ian Williams is from Vickers, the guy is from the same area. Corbett, the general manager of the bank, is the same area. Listen,
I'm not too sure whether Corbett is from Vickers, though. I'm not too sure about that.
Okay, I'm not too sure about it. But anyway, that's the information I had. Okay, that's the information I had. I'm not sure about it. So let's leave that, a question mark on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, I took the matter. So when she told me that, she told me she will not be able to assist me. So I told her, listen, do you have a lawyer to advise somebody you can orient me? She told me, yes, I have two lawyers I train, Miss Rosen Charles, and I think Marcella. I'm not sure, but I think that's what she told me.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, okay. When I left this area, I wasn't discouraged at all. Absolutely not discouraged. There's something that seized my spirit. And I said, this time it's going to be David against Goliath, but I'm going to battle the aid bank. Whatever, I'm going to battle them. I'm not going to let those persons mock on my right. And I believe that no Dominican should bow their heads in front of banks in Dominica. because the bank system in Dominica, to me, sometimes I'm saying Dominica have no bank. Dominica just have racketing institutions, the way they function. I'm sorry to say that. So I decided I'm going to battle the aid bank. I thought about the children of Israel. I thought about the 6 days war in Israel when Israel was surrounded by all the nation, and it was the General Yitzhak Rabin. And they battled, and in 6 days they won the battle. I just decided I'm going to battle the aid bank. I went to court. I won my court against the aid bank only by the grace of God, because you can see no one wasn't even believing like that. Even my cousin, one of my cousins, I told her about my problem. She told me, Shillingford, you will never be able to win aid bank in court. Aid bank, they have all a bunch of lawyers. And she's a believer. So you see, sometimes the devil can use people that's believer sometimes to turn you off. So that means you have to believe in your own self, believe in your God, and believe in your own self. I won my case against the aid bank. Actually, presently, we're in the process of assessment. My damages come to about $3 million.
$3 million.
$3 million. Aid bank has to pay me all the years, the 5 years, my loss of income.
So you won your case in
I won my case on the case. Actually, we're in the process of assessment. They put the matter in assessment. I won my case in 2019, the 14th of October. The 14th of October, yes, 2019. Okay, in 2019. So I had the accountant to prepare my loss of income, which you can see the loss of incomes and my claims. The claims is there. So I thought about all this kind of matter in Dominica. So what I did, I took an accountant in St. Lucia to prepare my claims.
Okay.
Believing that was going to protect me, so that they don't corrupt. It would be less easier to corrupt.
Yes.
But between lawyers, they transfer documents. And I suspected, as I'm saying, I am not blaming, I'm not accusing, I'm suspecting someone who represents the aid bank was trying to get contact with that person to see how he can turn off the matter. But what he did not know, my accountant was in Dominica. And then I prepared all the documents, I kept all the documents. And when we went to aid bank asked for conciliation, what you call mediation here. When we went to mediations, we went to mediation 3 times. It's always the team Boisek. Always go back and forth and whatever, and to see what they can give you, what they can script. But I'm willing to get an arrangement with the aid bank. Okay, I'm willing to get an arrangement with the bank, but I don't want, after all those things there, does aid bank give me a peanut? No, it cannot be. So that's why I'm sending an open letter to the Prime Minister, because I heard the Prime Minister said a few months back that he don't like to deal with matter that's in court. Okay, I can understand that. But 1 month later, I heard the Prime Minister said he was proud to say in cabinet that he get a settlement for DASPER. DASPER is the port and the union. The port is the government. So if the Prime Minister can make a magic like that for DASPER, why he cannot make it for me? Because aid bank is a state institution as well. So I'm sending an open letter to the Prime Minister. Everyone who has the Prime Minister number, criez monsieur et dit monsieur, moi besoin parler, nous besoin to voir assessment. Call the Prime Minister and tell him that I need to get assessment. My workers is out of job. I lose all my contract. Here I have a contract. I wanted to transform the business in the agro transformation factory. I have a contract for 6 to 8 tons of pepper, which we have 10 tons, practically 10 tons. I'd have 2 tons sweet peppers and whatever to transform to Dominica. And I even had the possibility, while I'm exporting brute, to transform in Dominica. And then after transforming, I can tell my clients, listen, what's your cost of production? I'm exporting brute to you, but listen, if I manufacture that product in Dominica, it can be much more cheaper for you. And I'd really reach to convince my clients to make them produce in Dominica, because it is important that Dominica understand, and I really want to share my 42 years experience in Dominica. Me, I'm not, you see the way I'm speaking English? I speak French fluently and have a very good vocabulary in French. I don't come here to speak Frenchy. And that's why I'm calling all the children, the Dominican children that are living in Guadeloupe, or those that are born or raised in Guadeloupe like my own self, do not come to this country and play Frenchy. Come and to bring a plus to our country. always be proud of our language, of our country, and try to see how we can contribute to the economical development of our country. I want to precise to Dominican people. When a French company gain $1 million in Dominica and invest that money in Guadeloupe, you can have from 40 to 80% subsidy. 40 to 80 subsidy. You can have regional funds, you can have state funds, you can have European funds, and all this money is in cash. We're constantly having French company coming to Dominica become millionaire, and you know who I'm talking to. And we Dominicans, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I promise, I give my word of honor to my prime minister. If he knock his hands on the desk and tell the aid bank, listen, this is not normal. This is unacceptable. That's the word I want to hear from my lawyer. I spoke to two pal rep about my story, Octavia Alfred and Kozia, which is from my area. I am expecting that Octavia Alfred take an appointment with the prime minister and tell the prime minister, listen, what's that?
Pay the man.
You see what I mean? That is, to me, that should be comprehensive, because Octavia Alfred, she's there to represent the people. And what we're seeing in our country, we have ministers, they're ministers, but they're so taken by the post of Minister of Education, Minister of Environment, Minister of this, Minister of that, that are they really there to listen really the expectation of the people, because they are the people. And have a look at that. The prime minister, everyone know he'll help a lot of people from his community, which is normal. Before being a prime minister, he was a pal rep. And who make him become a pal rep is the people of his community. So you cannot accuse the prime minister from helping people from your community. But when you are a pal rep of your community, think of your people. You have to think of how you're pushing your maximum, the people of your community. And when I came back to Dominica in 2004, I had 3 objectives. 1, build up my business in Dominica. 2, get a woman from my country, a good person to get married. And 3, help children. I lose my business, but they will never kill the dream that I have to help children. That's why I give my word of honor to the prime minister. If you intervene in that matter, I am going to open 1,000 fixed deposit from Laplin to Carib Reserve to all the children between 7 to 12 years old, to give them a financial education, because we do not have a financial education in Dominica. Because people believe that money is just made for spending, but money don't make for spending, don't make to manage. You should know how to manage money. And to prove my goodwill to the people of my community, from the month of January, or maybe December, January, I am going to open 200 fixed deposit, and I give my word of honor to all the children.
If the matter is settled.
Even not, to show my goodwill, to prove my goodwill to my country and loyalty to my country, I'm going to open 200 fixed deposit from Laplin to Carib Reserve, the children from 7 to 12 years old, which I wrote the letter. I submit the matter to the pal rep, as a matter of fact, to help the children. And the program will be, for example, every child parents that receive this $92.40, and I'll explain why. I'm going to open a fixed deposit for 200 children, $92.40. Is that when I was 12 years old, I had a very sad experience in my life when I was in Guadeloupe, because my parents get divorced very young, and my dad was a bit, distable with all these matters. And then he told me that he was no longer going to schools, my clothes to go to school, or my books. And I was alone facing my destiny. I thought I was alone, but God was with me. And I went to pick up limes on my father's farm to sell to a man that used to do huckstering, Mr. O.J. Sarapin. It was in the 84, 85, something like that. And he weighed the lime, and he told me that a week later he's coming back to Dominica to pay a week later. I never saw this $92.40. I cannot tell you, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if he paid my father. My father maybe used the money because his own self fall in alcohol, whatever. Or eventually, maybe he never passed and pay. But I was 12 years old, and I've never forgotten this $92.40. I went overseas. I become a business person. I gained money, but I've never forgotten this $92.40. And I swear one day I'll come back to my village and open a lot, 1,000 fixed deposit for all the children of my community, $92.40. Why? It's to send a message to adults to make them understand when you promise things to children, keep your promise. Keep your promises, because we have it in the depth of our heart. And the occasion come, I promise to the Prime Minister of my country, anyone who have the Prime Minister number, criez monsieur et dit monsieur, faut occuper des affaires en moins. Parce qu'un bizin, il occupe des affaires en moins. Qui bizin faut avancer. The same magic he did for DASPA. To me, it's legitimate for them to do the same magic for me. Because DASPA is government. Aid Bank is government. And I promise that. And the program, I want to just give a brief idea of the program. The program will consist that every child parents that receive this $90.40 at the Casablanca Credit Union and the Lapland Credit Union, the parents will have to give their children $10 per month. And the $10, yes, $10 per month. It will be 1 for your offering, 2 for your tithes, 10 for your tithes, 2 for investment, etc. So I'm going to build this program so that the children can learn how to manage money. The money is not from devil like certain persons believe, but we have to educate our children financially. And by there, after 5 years, the children give them the possibility to buy shares from my company so that it can be a Dominica company. And believe me, if we can build a company in Dominica.
So you're still interested in doing that company that you said was...
Absolutely. I'm still interested in my business. To me, it's just an extension. Because, listen, Dominica, as I explained to you, is a powerful lever. And that is unfortunately, and I'm saying it because too long, we Dominican people, we are letting ourselves dupe. I don't know how to start in duplicity. Fool,
yeah.
By certain French people, unfortunately, that come into Dominica. Because we stick what we've seen in Guadeloupe to Guadeloupe people. This belongs to the French capitalists and the Béquet. Black people don't have practically nothing in Guadeloupe. You see what I mean? What you see in Guadeloupe, because 30% of Guadeloupe and Martinique land is in indivision. They has no certificate of title. So that means the black people, they have difficulties to go at the bank and take a loan. They build a house, liquor by liquor, as they're working. And we, Dominica, the difference that we are independent country. We have land, we have property. That's why I'm encouraging the people of Dominica to keep your property. Your property is the powerful lever they can use to invest in Guadeloupe.
But you would understand that, and of course, maybe a lot of people may be saying at this time, there's no way that Q95 has been able to verify a lot of the things you said, but you can stand by why you say this.
Absolutely. I have all the documents. This is the case right there. We're in the process of assessment. You can see it's right in front of my eye. I'm taking the responsibility of all the words.
So why did it take you so long to come forward now?
You know something? I'm a person, I'm what you call a Bataquaib. There's no shame to be Bataquaib, and maybe I'll just like to clarify that. With the Caribs and the Bataquaib, being a Bata Carib is nothing wrong, nothing bad. Bata, that means you're not a real Carib.
Okay.
I have 68% of Carib blood. And the Prime Minister, for example, he's a Bata Neg. The people that had children with Syrians, they are Bata Syrian. So there's nothing wrong in Syrians because they don't know the signification, the meaning of Bata. Bata, that means we are not a real. If a man have children with his wife and he have a child outside, he's considered as a Bata.
So you'd have no problem with us trying to verify what you said with the aid bank? You would have no problem if we verify what was said.
Absolutely. I have my lawyer, Miss Rosen Charles. You can verify everything. And to me, it's the Commissioner of Police as well, because, I said certain things and he's there to protect the nation as well. So anyone can verify. I have all the documents there. I have the documents which the first investment I did on the property. I met, it was $9,500, and after renovation, it came to $90,000, which I put $80,500 there. You have the judgment, which I have it on my eye. You have the property in question, which they surveyed for me.
Let me look at it, please.
You have the loss, my loss of incomes and my claims, which is right there. I have the contract, which I have with the Aid Bank, the 12th of July, 2014. You have the receipt, which I paid. You have the 3 letters that I received from from Isidore, who try a bit to impress me. You have, yes, all this is there. The property in question that Edbank sold, 13,396 square feet. It's right there. Okay. And when you verify at the Kenfield industrial site, the proposal that they did to me, that they told me, and the price that they sold the property, there's nothing is not sticking. But anyway, he's a business person. He did this person. He did not steal the property. Huh? They sold to him, Zafe Bank. They sold to him. The guy got a good deal. And yes, praise God for him. But me, I'm a Dominican. The guy is a Dominican. I'm a Dominican. He's bungling with me. Why they want to sell to someone who is a member of the board and don't sell to us? There's something which is not clear. The Aid Bank is the government. You know, the Aid Bank is the government. I'm a business person. And after Maria, I start building on the property. I put $76,000. Anyways, Aid Bank, their own self that did the estimation that I had on the property, $76,000, which I built after Maria, where they stopped me. All the equipment is out there on the rain. And I'm just wishing something that we get a settlement, a serious settlement, a reasonable settlement on that matter.
How soon you want to settle?
But as soon as not tomorrow is possible. No, but I mean that maybe in a month.
Urgent.
It's important that we move on with that matter, because Aid Bank, yes, we're in the process of settlement. We're in the process of, yes, the damages. I want Aid Bank to pay my damages so that I can move on, because my workers, they're waiting. Every time they have been telling me, Shillingford, when are we starting back? Can't pay you. When I'm starting back, you know.
Let's take a break. We'll come back, Dominic. A very interesting story there, 144. But again, we'll have to verify some of the statements made by you. Of course, we have to get the other side of the story, and you understand that, yeah?
That sounds interesting, yeah.
Thank you.
Till you fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
E-Star Trading Limited does it again. Shop at E-Star Trading Limited in September for a chance to win. Every week in September, a lucky customer will win a $250 food voucher. That's right, a $250 food voucher. Just spend $50 or more and place your receipt in the box provided, and you will have a chance to win. Plus, shop on double points days. ESA Trading Limited loyalty card holders will earn double points on selected dates every month until the end of year. So shop and earn more points. For terms and conditions and further details, visit our store in Roseau. ESA Trading Limited. We're here for you.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, there's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. For the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
The views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
All right, Dominique, we're here, and we're going to take your phone calls. If you want to ask, feel free to call and ask Mr. Ken Shillingford the questions on your mind at this point. Somebody says, man, this guy will never get paid. He'll be hung out to dry, nonstop. Person says the Prime Minister will bullshit him, nonstop. And tell Mr. Shillingford, contact me. I have 22,026 feet of square land, free and available to him today at the industrial zone. So people are now offering you land that may be available. Somebody says from the outset, there was something sketchy about this whole deal. There were so many red flags, yet you chose to ignore them. Let's continue to listen to some of the voice notes there. Listen.
Well, to know what I've been told by a listener that there is some gentleman who is on your program who claims that he had an experience some maybe 60 or 70 years ago as it pertains to the purchase of limes from his father's estate for $92.48.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I do not know this gentleman.
And Mr. Oji, sir.
And I'll be very happy to get his phone number to communicate with him. But if I recall then, it's very likely that I could have purchased limes from his father, not from him directly. If that was the case, there was an occasion when I had an airline called Dominica Airways, and we were exporting agricultural produce for a number of years. If in case this gentleman misunderstood the transaction, I'll be happy to communicate with him. $92.48 he claims. It will be a very interesting experience for me to have a conversation with this gentleman, the likelihood of which was that his father was the one I would have had an engagement with and not him. And so if his father is still alive, I don't know, he could probably try to find out from his father if he had received it.
Well, I think he did say he was picking limes for his father. Did you say that, Mr. Shillingford? Yes?
Effectively, I picked the limes for my own self.
For your own self?
Yes, effectively. And as I told you that, I'm giving Mr. O.G. Sarapin the benefit of the doubt because my father was in a situation where he fell in alcohol as well.
Okay.
Maybe Mr. O.G. Sarapin might bid my father.
Okay.
Maybe he received that money. But personally, I never received that money. And believe me, that money at 12 years old, when you're in a situation I was really waiting on this money like the Messiah. But I've never forgotten this $92.40 because the need was
so you may have passed it on to your father, and your father what?
No, maybe Mr. O.J. Sarapin might dealt with my father.
Not
as
you.
My father, not me, maybe he had, as my father, as I explained to you, I sold my limes to Mr. O.J. Sarapin. I can remember that like yesterday. I was 12 years old, today I'm 53 years old. And maybe Mr. O.J. Sarapin might pay my father. As I explained to you, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And my father maybe had used that money to drink alcohol. But me as a child, It stayed at the back of my
So
head.
you never forgot that.
I never forget that. And I said that one day when I come back to my country, I'm going to serve, help children. And that's why I told you I'm going to open 200 fixed deposit for the children from 7 to 12 years old. And because often we're seeing people have a lack of respect to others. Things is banal. To me, it's better to do good to children to do good to adults. We do things to adults today, tomorrow they forget you. But children, when you do good to them today, in 5, 10, 15, 20 years or 40 years later, they will always remember what to do. That's why I promise to myself, I'm going to help the children. To help children, quand you dire créole pour débrouiller à grand bonnet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get to Mr. OJ. He can have a conversation with you right now. Yes, Mr. Sarapin, I think you called the radio, of course, disputing the point that was made earlier by Mr. Shillingford. Can you speak to us about that, sir? Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I'm saying you made a point. You sent me a voice note as it relates to this guy on the radio. What were you saying in that conversation?
I was simply saying that, first of all, I don't recall Mr. Shillingford per se, and I do not recall having had any interaction with him directly. However, it is the likelihood that I could have had a purchase made of lands or any other commodities with his father. That was the time in which I had Dominican Airways, I believe, where we transported the agricultural produce from Dominica to many islands, including the Virgin Islands. And so if he has a recollection of that, well, that is good, that he has a memory of it. And I would certainly like to meet him or discuss with him directly as to his experience. But I would expect that if that was the case, I would obviously have been acting with his father, who would have been the person who owns the estate or...
But I think I can have you talk to him directly. You were saying, sir, can you repeat, Mr. Ken?
Yes, as I explained, Mr. Sarapin, is that I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you contact my father, and maybe he get that money, and maybe use that money. But as a child, I never received this $92 in my hands because it was my limes. I'm the one that picked my limes. I put my limes by the road. I sold my lime.
But the estate belonged to who, though?
My father.
Okay.
The estate belonged to my father. Because as I was in a situation, as explained to you, my parents got divorced very young, and I had to move my way, I had to move my way. Then I picked my limes. It was the only way for me to make a few coins. So I picked my limes, I put it by the roadside, and then I decided, I heard Mr. O.J. Sarapin was a huckster, he was coming in the area, and I sold my limes. And I really wanted this money. Okay, I'm not accusing because sometimes things can go wrong. It's not accusing or trying to break down your story.
But just remember that occasion.
I remember that. And today, listen, it's over 40 years now, and I decide I'm going to continue my dreams to help children from my community. I'm going to consecrate my life, a part of my life, to help children from my community. And when I came back to Dominica to do business, it was my objectives. And I refuse anyone kill my dreams. It's only God that can kill my dreams. I will continue battling with the aid bank. I'll battle. I will not let them go. I will continue battling and let the Prime Minister hear my voice to let him know you are the chief of state. I took the matter to court. I won my case against the aid bank. If the court gave me my rights, that means my right is my right. We live in a society where there's rules and laws. And when there's rules and laws, we're made to facilitate our life in the society. So let's just respect them now. Once the court gives his idea, just respect it. Don't try to play around and whatever. And that's why I'm asking the Prime Minister to intervene, and he have the powers to intervene. Listen, the Prime Minister, in 72 hours, he can get a settlement. 72 hours. He's the chief of the state. He's the chief of the aid bank. If, for example, the general manager of the aid bank do something wrong, is the board of direction. They can take certain sanction against the manager. One is the members of the board. It's proven clearly that the members of the board have something wrong. Who is control? The Prime Minister. The Prime Minister can give them ultimatum. Listen, pay that man because he's employing people. He's going to create jobs in the country. You destroy business. He took the matter to court. He won this case. Let's just move on.
I think, so you were still on the line, Mr. Oje? Yes?
Mark, let me just say a bit here. I am very impressed with the fact that this gentleman has fervor and the joy of contributing to the young people of Dominica, and that he is insistent that he is in a position to contribute whenever he's being paid by whatever means possible from the aid bank and his situation to the aid bank. But my position on the matter is very simple. He does have needs, and I'm sure that this is the important aspect, that he's not aware as to whether I paid his father or not. But I would normally expect that if I were to be purchasing agricultural supplies for my airline, which I had at the time, it would have been with an adult. And so if his father did not contribute to him, that's an inter-party relationship between he and his father. And he does admit that it gives you the benefit of the doubt, for which I claim it. I claim the benefit of the doubt. But I'm also saying that in retrospect, my position at the time was purchasing agricultural produce for export to the Virgin Islands and Antigua and other places, and for which I'm very happy that I was able to interact with various forms of farmers of different descriptions in different parts of Dominica. And so if he was not paid by his father, I do not know. I don't know if his father is still alive, that he could probably have a discussion with him. If he's not, then I would still like to have a conversation with the gentleman on a one-on-one. I'm holding no particular anger or disappointment or what he says, simply to say that it's worth clarifying where his foundation of truth comes from, so that I do not get implicated in a matter.
And I understand it perfectly. So what I'll do, I have his number. I'll send you that number. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay. Thanks a lot, and I hope that clears the area of concern.
Well,
I hope people of our country do enjoy having somebody being brought down in the public space, and I challenge anyone to describe me in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Of course, he still give you the benefit of the doubt, huh? Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back to the telephone. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, I am feeling the pain of Mr. Shillingford. And Matt, it has some grown-ups. When they do children thing, they just believe children does forget. Matt, children do not forget things. And if that boy staying, he sell that line to that gentleman and he did not get paid. Now, the man want to clear out himself from the case. Why when is the boy not selling line for you? Why you didn't tell him, my boy, I'm not taking line for me because it's your father line? If he take the boy line, he is supposed to pay the boy's line.
But again, to just clarify, Mr. OJ did clarify, when he made those kind of purchases there for trade, he actually dealt with the adults and not the kids. That's what I got. Yes, mister?
Yeah, effectively, I just want to clarify something. The reason I'm coming not really to
bash anybody,
on Miss bash anyone or Mr. Sarapin in question. It was just you say that in English, in parenthèse. Yes, it was just a detail about my story. But the main thing I come to talk about is my problem with the aid bank.
Okay.
The main stuff is that Mr. O.J. Serafin was just a story, of my infant. It's a faraway story.
As to why you thought that parents or adults should respect kids.
Respect kids, as a matter of fact. And I will tell you personally how I would manage this matter as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody, 53 years, tell me something like that they experienced when they were 12 years old, I'll tell them, listen, it's never too late. I would pay you the $92.
Okay.
That's the way I would react.
All right.
And just close this chapter. It's a matter of, it's not, it was just a part of my story. It stayed in the depth of my heart. And I decided, listen, I'm going to use my story. Everything life did to me to break me down, I took out benefit from it because I understood that struggles in life is the path to reach your objectives. You cannot be a strong athlete if you don't want to suffer. And Aid Bank destroyed my business. The guys that destroyed my business, I went back to Guadeloupe. I built a business. And if I tell you that business brought me much more than what it would brought me in that business in Dominica.
Okay, let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, Matt.
How are you, sir?
Mr. Shillingford, my heart is aching for you, for your situation. You know, we have this half acre of land in the 8 Bank Industrial Zone, part of the 8 Bank Industrial Zone. Dating back to 1993, we have it on the market for sale. We have offered it to the 8 Bank Matt and Mr. Shillingford, that property, for the last 25 years. You mean to tell me, Ian, is it Mr. Williams, you said, Mr. Shillingford?
Effectively, yes.
He is well aware that we had that property available for sale. He is well aware that we were offering it to the 8 Bank. I cannot believe that the 8 Bank or Mr. Ian, up to this day, never offered you and told you, look, there's that here half acre, part of our industrial zone available free and clear for you to purchase. Something is just not right, Matt. I cannot.
Is it still available, Peter?
Up to this minute, it is available. If Mr. Shillingford wants it this afternoon, he can have it. Free and clear, nobody to give him any trouble. I just cannot believe 8 Bank never offered and told Mr. Shillingford, look, there's that property available for sale. Instead of putting him on a property, that a part of the property that had a lot of a situation that was unresolved. That look at what turned out today for him with a court case that has been awarded in Mr. Shillingford's favor. So, Mr. Shillingford, I pray all will be settled with you. I look forward to meeting you, and let's do some business, my brother. I welcome you. Take care, sir.
All right, Mr. Peter, thank you very much. You wanted to add something else?
Yeah. Anyway, I went on the high lines of my matter, and I just wishing that everyone who has the Prime Minister number, Mr. Everyone, call the Prime Minister and ask him, to intervene in my matter, because this is. But I'll still continue my battle. Today I start on this radio station. I can eventually, if another radio station give me a favor, I will still send a message. And if I have to go further with a placard in front of the ministry when the Prime Minister is passing to the
you're going to do a protest yourself.
Whatever, I'll do my protest. I'll tell them I'm a determined person. I'll go to reach my objectives. And if everywhere the Prime Minister is, because the first time I met the Prime Minister, I spoke to him briefly about the matter. It was by the bridge just after Maria, when I saw everything broke down, where I had the possibility to run first that building and have things secure for my equipments. And he told me, at the back of the wall, he know the matter. So I'm asking the Prime Minister, I have a market. I speak French fluently. I market my products in Guadeloupe, Martinique, and in France. And I can really contribute to the economical development of my country. Not only give certain advices, because as I explained, that Dominica is a powerful lever, very powerful lever for when you're doing business in the French country, much more than we know. Is unfortunately the people that succeed in the French country, or children were born or whatever, they come back to Dominica, but always the same thing, to play Frenchy, and they don't try to tell Dominica effectively. Guadeloupe and Martinique is 700,000 to 800,000 persons. There's a lot of money circulating in Guadeloupe. You just have to invest, and I can give an advice to the people of Dominica. The best way to do business in Guadeloupe is build a Dominican People Investment Fund. Okay, is that a group of Dominicans can just come together and put a $200, about a $500, and then that build up a big cash.
So there's a market opportunity there.
Absolutely, especially in the tourism sector. And why I say it's important in the tourism sector, you can say, yes, we need hotels in Dominica, but in building the tourism sector, you can get right up to 50% subsidy when you build bungalow houses. 50% subsidy. places like Anse Bertrand, places Bouillante, etc. You can get all up to 50% thing. And not only in those small structures, for example, 10 bungalows, we can have small boutiques where we can market our product. The last night, I heard the Prime Minister said we're going to see what we can do in Dominica to export to China. Listen, you're coming for a basin of water, you want to go and do business with an ocean, it's not sticking. The only thing that we can market in China is our brains, our knowledge. Because, in China, there's stupid people, there's average people, there's intelligent people. Dominica, there's stupid people, there's average people, and there's intelligent people. Our knowledge, when God distributes.
So you're saying there are more opportunities in Guadeloupe than it is in China?
But it's just on the side. We can manufacture today. Monday, you put it on the boat. Tuesday, it's already out at 12 on the port. You're going to manufacture in Brazil, you have to take all like 6 weeks to reach in Guadeloupe, and what's in Guadeloupe is all a day, but to get rid of it out of port. Guadeloupe and Martinique is a large opportunity, but the problem that we have, and I'm seizing this opportunity because is to educate people, share my experience. Don't keep it only for yourself. We have to share our experience. When you go overseas, come back, share our experience. The majority of Dominicans, and I don't want to denigrate women in that, is that they put themselves with the lower class of the society in Guadeloupe. That means they never elevate themselves. And the few that succeed in Guadeloupe, they don't, you même pas dire, moi c'est Dominicain, pas dire c'est Dominicain. Come on. You have to be proud of who you are.
You can pay this.
You can pay this. You can dire que pas Dominicain, pas dire maman c'est. And when you see, for example, the French husband, they manipulate the women so much. Even the children, the mothers manipulate the children. Pas dire maman c'est mon Dominique. When they succeed, pas dire maman c'est mon. Faut dire, faut faire Guadeloupe et Martinique comprendre que famille c'est famille mon Dominique. Parce que Dominique nous n'y t'est. Guadeloupe est 30% t'es en Guadeloupe. Ok, je vais parler le français, je fais la traduction.
You can speak French. We have a French.
I'll do the French. Alors, il faut savoir que 30% des terres guadeloupéennes, le foncier guadeloupéen est en indivision. Indivision, c'est-à-dire qu'ils n'ont pas de titre de propriété. 40% of the land in Guadeloupe is in indivision. They don't have certificate of title. En Martinique, c'est pareil. In Martinique, is the same thing. Il faut savoir, le problème en Guadeloupe, c'est qu'on compare ce qu'on voit en Guadeloupe aux Guadeloupéens. C'est-à-dire, quand vous allez à Jarry, et vous voyez tous ces grands, ça appartient aux capitalistes français. Ça n'appartient pas au peuple guadeloupéen. What's happening in Guadeloupe is when you go to Guadeloupe, we compare what we see in Guadeloupe with the people of Guadeloupe. It don't belong to the people of Guadeloupe. It belongs to the French capitalists and the Béquets.
Let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes? Caller, are you there? No, you're not. Let's move on to another phone call. Yes? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, I want to commend your guests in the studio today, Matt. So much education, Matt. But that is why the United Workers' Party went to Guadeloupe in 2019. Matt, if you see the items on the supermarket shelf, Matt, produced in Dominica, there are items that we can produce, for example, ginger. Ginger comes from China, and is on supermarket shelf in Guadeloupe, Matt. Matt, we can make hundreds of millions of dollars. Just in Guadeloupe and Martinique, there is a government main focus and understand that agriculture can be the engine of growth in Dominica. The gentleman is so right, Matt, but leadership is what Dominica need. I, with Thompson Fontaine and Lennox Linton, led a delegation into Guadeloupe, identifying the areas in agriculture we can take advantage of. I remember Rosie Douglas. Every 4 words she spoke, he talked about Guadeloupe and Martinique. But as a gentleman talks, China, China, China. And I want to also add, Matt, Mr. Shillingford, I support your thought in respect to and your story in respect to the lime. Because I had some challenges in the housing development at Menvin Hall, where I signed a contract with Honorable Sarapin. And about 16 times I had to go by his home for my money. And I end up with a bounce check. And then we went to an agreement. I said, look, if you don't have money, don't sign a check for me that bounce. And the gentleman had $8,000 for me. He gave me 2. And he told me the project flopped. If I can work with him and forgive his debt. And although I'm a broke man, I forgive his debt. So if we take line for a little man, a poor man, The fact that we can take it, we have to find him and pay him his money. So I identify with you everything you say, sir, and we as a people must understand that we can create our own wealth if we give the farmers of this country, if we give the citizens of this country the energy, the connections, and the assistance they need to connect with Guadeloupe and Martinique and European connection. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you. Mr. Shillingford, I just want to kind of divert a bit there because you were speaking in the Dominica, Guadeloupe, and we've been hearing a lot of negative, quote unquote, negative reports as it relates to young men and women to a certain extent, behaving bad in Guadeloupe. What's really happening there?
To tell you the truth, there's a lot of truth, but there's a lot of manipulation as well. Guadeloupe, uncontestable. No, I'm going to speak French so that the Guadeloupe people can understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Les Guadeloupéens le savent. La Guadeloupe, c'est un pays xénophobe.
They can translate as well, no?
Guadeloupe, effectively. Guadeloupe is a xenophobic island. I'll explain to you something. Par exemple, en Guadeloupe, s'il y a 3 délinquants guadeloupéens et un délinquant dominicain, ils vont toujours voir le délinquant dominicain. In Guadeloupe, if you have 3 Guadeloupe delinquents and 1 Guadeloupe Dominicans, at the end of it, they will say it's a Dominican. That's why, you see, in Guadeloupe is not like, it's black people like us, but it's a different culture. The Beke, the white descendants of the colonial, they live in their community. The majority of the white people who have a certain standard, la majorité des gens qui ont un certain standard, ils vivent dans leur communauté. Les Chinois, ils vivent dans leur communauté. Les Libanais, ils vivent dans leur communauté. Les Syriens, ils vivent dans leur communauté. Même la communauté haïtienne, 98% de peuples haïtiens, ils vivent dans leur communauté. Tous ces peuples n'ont pas de problème. Il n'y a qu'une seule communauté qui se mêle le plus avec les Guadeloupéens, c'est nous les Dominicains, et c'est nous qui avons plus de problèmes. The Beke, they stay in the community. The white people, they stay in the community. The Libanons, they stay in the community. The Syrians, they stay in the community. 98% of the Haitian people, they stay in the community. They never have problems. The community that makes the most with Guadeloupe people is Dominicans, and we have the most problems. So where's the problem? Where's the problem? We don't like our people. We're not united. We don't share information. One Dominican, you can imagine a Dominican take a bag of drugs like that and he go and sell it in Guadeloupe. For who is going to sell it if you don't have a connection in Guadeloupe? Let's be logical. When I was a child in Guadeloupe, even today, they used to call us Quinquin. That is the nickname they give to Dominican. Quinquin. That word hurt us so badly. Quinquin. In Quinquin is a woman, a Quinquin is a man. But Quinquin, when I grew up, I tried to understand what was the definition of Quinquin. Quinquin, that means, is the old French, Greek. Aide-moi, le truc français, latin. Voilà, la racine française, voilà. C'est le vieux, the old French Latin. And quinquin, the definition of quinquin, that means little infants. So if we are little infants, that means my prime minister little infants too. The best way to deal with Guadeloupe is respect, 1, put our faith in God, and 2, respect the French law. Because if we Dominicains, si nous les Dominicains, nous sommes en Guadeloupe aujourd'hui, c'est grâce à l'État français. Grâce à la loi française qui nous a protégés. If we Dominicans were in Guadeloupe today, it's because of the French law that protects us. Because French law is clear. No discrimination. That means that whenever you dès que vous êtes citoyen étranger, que vous êtes un étranger, que vous vivez en Guadeloupe, vous avez tous les droits comme tout citoyen. Whenever you are a foreigner, you are living in the French country, you have the same rights of all citizens. That means somebody can just come and tell you and discriminate you and whatever. They take those things very seriously. Ils prennent ces choses-là très, très sérieux. La loi française ne joue pas quand on dit la discrimination, ces choses-là. Ils ont même les droits pour les étrangers. There's even rights for foreigners. So it's not the French. We always believe it's the French that, this French that. No, it's Guadeloupe and Martinique people. It's black people like us. Black people and Indians. They are the ones. Ce sont des Noirs, ce sont des Indiens comme nous qui nous dénigrent. Vous voyez ça? Quand par exemple vous vivez en France, vous êtes dans la masse. Personne ne sait que si vous êtes Guadeloupéen, Martinique ou Dominique. When you're living in France, you're living in the mass. No one knows if you're Dominican, you are Haitian, a Martinique or Guadeloupe person. Voyez-vous? So, c'est nous les Dominicains, nous devons croire en nous. It's we the Dominicans, we have to believe in ourselves. Just move on. When the Chinese come to Dominica, they take their risk, they do their investment. Do the same thing in Guadeloupe. Just don't worry with Guadeloupe people and just move on. Respect the French law and just move on.
Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, greetings, brethren, and greetings to the
Greetings,
guests in
greetings,
studio.
greetings. Yes.
Matt, one thing I want to say about the interaction, this man speaks with confidence and his intention to help and which is the future generation. I think he's successful. And what I like about this conversation, he never accused the Mr. Sarapin, but he said give him the benefit of that. But I like the end solution they decide to meet. That's how intelligent grown businessmen. That's how they does things, with good morals. I really appreciate that. And the individual that told him that he got the land, we have to start doing that because this man want to build Dominica, and we have to have confidence in people like that. And the man speaks with confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to him. So I just hope he continue to do that. And remember, believing in the children, your future will be successful. And any weapon that form against you will not prosper because your intention is to help the future generation, which is the children. I'm listening. Thank you.
All right. Somebody's saying that, tell Mr. Shillingford that if he has an order from the court, that is my view for every day he's not being paid, they should pay him some interest on top of what he's owed. So let them waste time because they'll pay you more money, Mr. Shillingford. If they waste time, there's interest on that.
Yeah, normally, apparently, there should be a 10% increase. On,
How long ago that case was before the court?
But as we are in assessment,
yes, but
with the process of assessment,
how long?
2019.
2019.
Yeah, so they were actually been 2024. Okay, so
normally, so they have not paid you since then.
No, because normally we're in the process of assessment.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we asked for conciliation. I mean mediation. We went to mediation, but we're trying to do something, but then their lawyers start, playing and, just a matter of gaining time.
Who's their lawyer?
It's Isidore. Mr. Isidore. Stephen Isidore.
Hello, on the telephone, yeah?
Yes, Matt, I listening there carefully, and the gentleman is right on pot, and sir, I don't know you, but that is what I have been advocating for when Matt been in my little chance, my little $5. Agriculture and tourism is one basket. Tourism cannot move by itself because the tourists need to see the site and eat the fruits. And now for the children and the families not to rise, you will not give them the food basket. And that is what is happening in Dominica. Here is the boat, here is the this, here is the that, here is the land opening, so much money investing in agriculture, but you're not seeing nothing. So if we was marketing properly, then we would have food on our table, money in our pocket, everything. Now, you see again, the gentleman have a lot of good ideas. Why the government minister, the agriculture minister, cannot invest something like that? It's only $5 fish that the minister can make us get. When it's not he that making us get that, make us get the fruits that we serve. I 200% with you. I don't know you, but once you stand for pride, country, money, and happiness of the people, to God be the glory with you, sir.
All right, God be the glory with you as well. If you were advising some farmers there, I'm sure a lot of farmers are listening, what kind of products would you advise them to get into?
Ginger, turmeric. It's a very rapid product in case of hurricane. And that's
ginger and turmeric.
Ginger and turmeric, but transform it directly in Dominica. As a matter of fact, I have a drink, energical drink I'm intending to manufacture. That's what the first product I'm going to start. Ginger, turmeric, and there's some other products again, but by secret of manufacturing, I have to keep it. Okay, that is normal. So that's the thing I wanted to that's the first thing I would start with.
So ginger and turmeric.
Ginger, turmeric. And that is very, very healthy.
There's a good market for that.
There's a good market for that, but not only the publicized, the advertisements are worldwide. Ginger, worldwide, people is talking about ginger. It's a healthy product. Turmeric is a healthy product, what you call curcuma. Okay. And I would just want to talk about something which is important to give a little taste to let Dominicans understand certain things. The Haitian community transfer a minimum, listen to that, a minimum of 8 million euro to their country every month.
Every month.
Every month. There's between 45 and 48,000 Haitians. Just imagine a Haitian transfer 200 euro. A minimum a month is minimum 8 million euro they're transferring to their country. We have it easier than the Asian people. They have to pass from all exodus to reach in Guadeloupe, sometimes pass through our country. We are close by. We constantly, we always believe, if Guadeloupe was coming and help us, it's Martinique was help ourselves, Dominicans. Let's just move on. Send our children to study in France so that they can gain knowledge, learn the French law, learn the French language, learn the French law, and learn the French psychology. French people are not like Trinidadians or Saint Lucian. They black people like us, but they were colonized by French. They has another psychology. That's why we have to understand this. That means know how a French person think. If things before know how they think. I am a person, I'm a bilingual person. I speak French, I speak English. I completely in my Dominican culture and I'm in the Guadeloupe culture. I know how a French person thinks. And that is important to understand the person with who you are dealing with. And that's why I say it's important that we send our children to study, to learn French and learn the French law so that we can better defend our interests. We all look at during these past years, everything we are saying, if Guadeloupe was coming and help us, who is coming? Persons from Guadeloupe, person from Martinique. We always taking advice to the person that don't want to see you grow. Guadeloupe people don't want to see Dominican grow. They don't want to see Haitians grow. They don't like us. They like our product because they know it's a quality product. But what are we doing? That's why we have to learn the French language and defend our interests. Think our interests. Think Dominica. I'll take an example. You have a French company in Dominica. Dominica built Jacques Garacan. It's Dominica that built Garacan. If you compare Jacques Garacan and his brother, it's completely different. José Garacan, they are the top because of the connection they have with Dominica, because they understood Dominica is a powerful liver. But who we taking advice to? From the people the same person that don't want us to succeed in Guadeloupe, that don't want us to succeed in Guadeloupe, we're taking advice from them. You're taking advice from your enemies? Okay. It doesn't make sense.
Interesting. Well, let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? I'm sorry we missed that call, but go ahead. Continue. But what I'm always hearing about Guadeloupe, and you spoke about that earlier, is the back doors and the drug trade that a lot of people concentrate and speak about Guadeloupe. The back door and that drug trade going on there in Guadeloupe. A lot of people are concerned about that.
Listen, the drugs. Listen, are this planting coca in Dominica? Dominica maybe is just like a transit. You're talking about drugs, the drugs deal. Dominicans, listen, is there any coca thing? The drugs is coming from somewhere else. I cannot tell you that there's certain persons that trying to get the easy way of life and stuff like that. But they shouldn't just put all the fault on Dominica. Imagine, I'll tell you something. A police officer in Guadeloupe, that's why I would like to really share my experience with the Prime Minister of Dominica, persons who know Guadeloupe and know the French country. It's better to collaborate with the gendarme. Why the gendarme? The gendarme, they come to Guadeloupe, they pass 4 years and they leave. They can have eventually an extension of 4 more years, but they're passing. That the French put that system so that they don't get accustomed with the population. Okay, they're more inert. But the 98% of the police, they're black people. Imagine a police officer. There's good police officers. Let's be clear on that. There's very good police officers that do the job, and I respect that. That maybe is a xenophobic person, and the person want to boost the career. The best way to boost your career is try to get 2 or 3 Dominicans in prison, because the guy don't speak French, he don't understand the French law, he don't know how that works. Yeah, you make the guy talk, you make him sign, and you're good to go. The guy, he have a couple guys, and then he bruises his career and a few times after he's captain or whatever. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying that we should not continue just having conflict. There's crooked people everywhere. There's very good Guadeloupe persons. I have very good Guadeloupe friends. But we have to defend our interests. Quand c'est boire gloire, garder gloire, point vous-même que boire gloire que boire. Pas ni boire tout ça mon gabao. That's why it's important that we send our children. Children will learn. They will learn French quickly. Send them to learn the French law, learn and defend just go to Guadeloupe, prepare our documents, send in our subsidy. Listen, when you drop your documents for our subsidy, they stamp your document. They know when the document came in. If you are a victim of any discrimination, you take a lawyer, they're in problems. Let me tell you something. The French law is so strict.
Hold that thought. Take a pin. Are you there, caller? Sorry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the French law is so strict on discrimination. There's 3 lawyers that get themselves in problem. They cannot exercise for 5 to 10 years just because of a little corruption, something that you know what I mean? And if the fellows mix in politics again, it's worse for them. You see what I mean? That's why in Guadeloupe, we mustn't look at Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe is this. No, Guadeloupe is a very good country. You know, Guadeloupe, I feel myself more secure again in Guadeloupe than in Dominica. You see what I mean? You can just move on, set up our business, stay concentrated on ourselves. You know, when you know who we are and you know, set up business, and we have a problem of loyalty. We have to be loyal when we're doing business. It's very good to be loyal in business. If you try to play along, it cannot work. And often the Haitian people, we can say whatever we want for Haitians, you can see there's a certain unity and loyalty.
That is very true.
The Haitian people, there was a store in Barbès in France that bankrupt. The Haitian people, they put the money together and they took the supermarket. Everywhere. There's a minimum of 500 Haitian stores in Guadeloupe. They're everywhere. They're knocking everywhere because they're united, because they share information. And this is what we're not doing. We're not sharing information. And the very few Dominicans that succeed in Guadeloupe, unfortunately, they don't even want them to know that they're from Dominica.
You know, you're saying something very, I mean, I visit the United States very often. I always ask myself and my family, why is there not a Dominican restaurant? You find Trinidadian restaurant, you find Haitian restaurants, but never a coming together of the Dominican people. I keep asking myself, why? We keep pulling each other down?
Always, that's the same thing. We have to be structured. That's why it is good that the government do a Dominican people investment and target Guadeloupe and Martinique. We build our we put a group of entrepreneurs. Listen, there's about 10 to 11,000 Dominicans in Guadeloupe. In 2 months, we can register almost 500 businesses in Guadeloupe. 500 businesses. Invest that money in Guadeloupe is a lot of subsidy. They will not refuse your subsidy. Once you're right, you can even take a lawyer and fill up your papers and whatever and get a lot of subsidy and continue investment. What is good that we build our own bridge. That's why build our own bridge to Guadeloupe and Martinique, and don't expect that it's Guadeloupe people that come and build a bridge for us. They will build it in their interest. That's what people have to understand. Build our own bridge. Build our own connection. The Chinese, when they come out from China, they come to Guadeloupe, they don't speak French, they don't speak Creole, and they're moving on. The Haitian people, the majority of Haitian people, they don't speak French, they speak Haitian Creole. You know? So we always try to say, yeah, they're French. No, the majority of Haitian people, they don't speak French, they speak Creole, Haitian Creole. But because they're united, because they share information, they're moving on. And I think that's what the problem that we have is that lack of unity and loyalty. We have to be loyal. You make a contract, you sign the contract, respect the contract.
Are you the caller?
Yeah, good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon, St. Joseph.
Yes.
Did the guy say he met with Skerrit or he talked to Skerrit about the situation?
Did you talk to Skerrit about the situation, sir?
As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister and I, we had a brief meeting. I sent a message via the lawyer, via his wife, sorry. I spoke to the PAL rep, and normally I have to meet the Prime Minister. I have to make an appointment with the Prime Minister. But I did not want to go to the Prime Minister before sharing my story with the people of Dominica. And I explain to you why. I did not want to go to the Prime Minister's office and come up with a smile. I want the Prime Minister to understand it's a serious matter. And I'm going to knock again. No, the matter is odd. I think the majority of persons in Dominica will have the information. Then I'll go to the Prime Minister to see what the Prime Minister is doing for me.
Are you the caller? Yes.
My brother, our head is too hard. There are things these fellas do already, and you know you buy the biggest crook. This guy in Mari got with the crab saga. The very same thing you saying to Dominicans. That is the very same path you take. The guy was innocently fired. I have to compliment that guy. He could have let Mr. Linton pass with the crab, give Mr. Linton preference because of the status at the hole, but he chose to stop him, and he still end up losing his job. Skerrit went at his mother home, have personal conversation with his mother, seeing her condition and her husband's condition firsthand. Up to today, this guy is out of a job. They're building an international airport to nowhere. You haven't listened to QFM to hear how people crying down. They are in Doza, they've seen Doza on their land. And yet still they haven't got a cent for their land.
You haven't heard the American Dominican seeing Chinese operating Traco on his land, his dozer, cutting down his land. And he cannot fight. My boy, how much them all you must, and you still talking about you want to do business? How much blows can you take? My boy, Dominica is in the heart of corruption. I hear you call some guy's name in the head bank. My boy, that's a bank that underperformed for how many years now? Where are they going to get the money to give you? They're going to play crooked tricks with you all the time, but try, my boy.
The point I think the caller is trying to make is, why do you have so much patience trying to get monies from the aid bank when they might not even settle with you?
Listen, I'm a man of faith.
Right.
You know, I think that is important.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep on that. I continued doing business. My business was functioning. I think if it was a person that was on the debt or that did not have no, backup, it would be very, very difficult. But I'm going to continue battling the aid bank, and I think that, listen, the Prime Minister, if he wants to create jobs in Dominica, he should give the Dominican people the possibility and yes, intervene in that matter, seriously intervene in that matter, because he can understand the situation. He knows about the situation. He knows that property, all what go wrong and etc.
Now let's listen to a voice note here. Let's see.
Matt, good day. Let me just say that to your guest, Mr. Shillingford, you have there. I find this person is very much out of order to come on the radio and call a private citizen name in an affair that happened 40 years ago while he was a child, right? If we go by Dominican standard and culture, we never dealt with adults. We know our place.
Well, again, Alex, we've just dealt with that. And of course, again, he has spoken to Mr. Sarapin, who have actually dealt with that. They will have a personal conversation. He did say that his father was under some influence there, was an alcoholic, and so you can understand what just went on, what might have went on. Okay, so this is what the conversation was and is and will continue to be. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon, Mr. Shillingford.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
But Mr. Shillingford said he had to get $3 million. So I'm waiting to get that $3 million. Look like you money for a golden spoon. Neither PM, neither AM, neither all the what you call them, the parliamentary representatives you went to might not see to that you get that $3 million. For there's a $3 million, sir. You better kiss that goodbye. If it's these people you have to depend on to help you get that, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
All right. Some people want to share, if you will, your numbers. So if you want to do that, you can do that at the end of the program. Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing? Yes.
Shillingford. Interesting conversation. The brother in this Haitian comparison, a lot of times, because our relationship with the Haitians are an economic relationship at which they're currently at a disadvantage, we get a wrong impression of Haitian people. But mentally, Haitians are a first world nation, mentally. They're not there physically, and because of the economic interests of the US and France, that Haiti is not the most powerful and most and the richest piece of land by black people, is because of those two countries, France and America, primarily. That's why Haitians are not the richest density-wise in the world, So when we deal with it, we have to understand that these people are first world people. So whenever they act, they always act in a collective. They come into a place, the first thing you look for is how they can extend the link for others to come. You're getting a job, the first thing you look for is how they can bring more of them on the job. They are always acting in a collective. That is a motto of a first world nation, mentally free for hundreds of years, like all these other big, metropolitan countries. So when we think of Haiti, we must think of Haiti mentally as a first world country, because the mindset that these people operate with is straight up first world.
And I want to ask you the question because it came up. So why is it as Dominicans that we can't come together and make something happen for Dominica? Mr. Lloyd?
We haven't gone through the mental process. Great question, Mark. We haven't gone through the mental process. Look at electoral reform, which is the basic first step in the mental process. Look at where it's taking us. The basic. So we look at nationalists here. We in what do we have? We in the CEO, We independent thing, but mentally we are not nationalistic. That is our hindrance.
Okay, thank you very much. 4493095. Let's take another phone call. Are you there? We are already 2:37. Very interesting conversation here in the afternoon. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Peltier, who is Mr. Shillingford? Is it the bank or the government? Which one?
Well, according to his documents, is the aid bank that may be owing Mr. Shillingford because they have not, fulfilled what is in the contract.
Okay. He went to court.
They went to court and he won his case in 2019.
So did the court award that he get compensation?
His documents are right there.
Yes.
Yeah, and the process continues in negotiation and trying to settle again.
So if the court,
Assessment, yes.
did the court award compensation to Mr. Shillingford?
Not yet. We are in the process of assessment.
Assessment, yes.
Yes. So
But you
we went 3 times to try to, they asked for mediation. But unfortunately, they're playing it wrong. And then finally, we just said, listen, forget that mediation problem. So that's why I'm asking the Prime Minister, the government, to intervene as the same way he intervened for that sperm.
Okay, all right.
But the issue, the question of the $3 million came from where?
Yeah, this is from the how you say that, the claims.
The claims,
The
okay.
claims. So the accountant, the claims.
The claims, okay.
The claims. The accountant,
The
claims,
accountant
that's
as to
my claim.
what he may have lost in the process.
Okay.
The summary.
So nobody did award that thing, so that you try to settle it. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Let's move on. 239, yes?
Yeah, greetings, my brother. It's me again. I just want to recommend my brother Zed for the statement about the Haitian people, like he considered them the first world, which they were. That's why the big wigs, American, France, tried to break them down. Because one thing about the Haitian, because I have a lot of Haitian friends in New York, they work together collectively. That's why they'll always be successful. And I take, for instance, Dominican. We have music in Dominica right now that are making waves in the Caribbean island, eventually going to be world over. But yet still in New York, we have so many different promoters separate. Whereas years ago, we had one group, which was Exodus, with Georgie Karam, Robbo, Fitzroy, that passed away in the World Trade Center. They were together, and they had Exodus. Under one roof, you have everybody. But now, my brother, everyone want to be a promoter. For Dominican to have a small community in New York, we're supposed to come together. And with that, and bring a band on the parkway. But everybody fragmented. I don't know when Dominicans going to come together and put their heads together. But it starts, maybe the Haitians have to come in Dominica and give us examples, and take from that. We still black people. So let's do it together, collectively, Dominicans. Let's work with the people that want to work. For instance, this gentleman in the studio with you, it could start with him. Let's start work with him and make a change for the future. I'm listening.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody says here in a WhatsApp message, Matt, to you and your guest, Mr. Shillingford's story is very clear. Though we know there are 4 sides to a story, his side, the other person's side, the people's side, and the truth. I believe his side is leaning on the truth. The sad thing is 2 of the main characters in the story are dead, the lawyer and the doctor. Some people will say, why now? But sometimes it takes time to put pieces of the puzzle together. I always had a lot of question marks about the doctor's death. The universe camera is always recording. It does not need batteries, no electricity. The truth will reveal itself one day, one of these days. He just needs to stay focused and keep trusting God. That's some advice to you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, 4493095. Stay focused and keep trusting God. 4493095. Matt, good morning again, or good afternoon to you. This guy seems to have some information. I'd like to get his number. I was born in Guadeloupe. Maybe he can give me some information on that subject. So people are reaching out to you, trying to make contact with you. Is it something that you would do? Just give out your numbers?
Yeah, effectively, maybe I might just keep my number, the telephone, or on the radio station.
Okay, all right. So at the end, we'll do that, okay? 449309596 and 97. Again, we're going to play this disclaimer, and we'll try to reach out again to the aid bank to get some response to that.
Views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM radio. Wise Q95 FM radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
All right, Dominique, it's 2:42. We just have a few more minutes. Let's listen to another voice note at this time. Yes, let's listen to this one.
Matt, I know you have a lot of clients and people calling you all the time, but I'll tell you the truth. The man just said something there that is really, 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 really true. The Haitian people, they're really together. Even Dominica, there, see, very well cooperative people. In the whole world among black people, I could tell you that they are the people that share their shoulder, they share their head, they share their mind. For real. I really like that, what they say is facts.
And Wadix has always been saying, why do we have to promote a Creole festival in the U.S. when we have a very big market of Martinique and Guadeloupe for the World Creole Music Festival? Let's see if I can take another voice note. It goes on and on. Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peltier. Good afternoon, Mr. Peltier. I'm listening to the discussion between you and your guest. I think he's Mr. Shillingford.
Yes.
Matt, that is the tip of the iceberg with the kind of corrupt practices that are going on among some of the financial institutions in Dominica, particularly those which the Prime Minister has some level of say over as the trustee on behalf of the people of Dominica, Matt. Matt, a bank is just the tip of the iceberg. Matt, the interesting thing is that the National Bank has issues too in that regard, and serious ones too. You know what is common among that, Matt? The lawyer representing these institutions. The name continues to be the same. Okay? That is all I will say for now. Because sometimes, Matt, I will be on your program, if you will have me, with a similar situation involving the National Bank of Dominica. Then people will understand, because some years ago I warned Dominicans that I don't know how in Dominica, people who are lawyers go to the bank to do a mortgage, and the bank tells them that they have to use the bank's lawyer. But that is against the law. Okay? The bank forces you to use their lawyer to sign an agreement that their lawyer represents the bank. Their lawyer is the person responsible for drafting up the agreement. You are entitled to have an independent independent opinion of the matter, Matt. These are the things that are going on in Dominica. They have their select people, and particularly persons who have dealings with the bank and they live abroad. Be extremely careful. That is all I will say for now, Matt. Good afternoon.
Somebody's asking whether you have a sort of timeline as to when you will get your business up and running.
I'm hoping maybe sometimes next year. Hoping.
Something next year.
I'm hoping, yeah, effectively. I'm functioning actually in Guadeloupe. I'm marketing my products in Guadeloupe, Martinique, and France. I'm in activity. So, but I want to come back to my country, invest in my country, like all Dominicans living overseas. We want to come back home and keep our relation, your contact out there to gain money and whatever, and contribute to the economical development of our country. Knowing that, as I explained a while ago, is that the aid bank premier role is to contribute, facilitate. And if the person to facilitate business contribute is the one holding you down, that's a problem. There is a problem.
And again, you will stand by your every word this afternoon. You can stand by your every word.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm standing out. All the documents is there. There's nothing invented. Dr. Kelik, the story of Dr. Kelik, that is very true. That's what Dr. Kelik told me 2 weeks after they got him floating in the St. Rosa. He told me that he gave the guy $200,000. He told me that the guy jammed his vehicle. The guy saw him with my eyes, saw Dr. Kelik was talking to me. He told Dr. Kelik it was an old white Frenchman that was in the area, which it was an old white French. They have never had no old white Frenchman. I'm the one in the area. And he knew that he could no longer lie to Dr. Kelik. And 2 weeks later, they got Dr. Kelik floating in the St. Rosa. I cannot say, as I explained to you, I cannot explain that he killed Dr. Kelik. I cannot explain that he pushed Dr. Kelik to suicide. All what I can say is that it is clear I'm leaving the 67,400 Dominicans and the 100,000 Dominicans living overseas to bring their own judgment on the matter. But we all have a brain.
You're coming to no conclusion.
Absolutely. No conclusion. To me, there's a commissioner of police in Dominica. He's the one that have to
inquire.
Yeah, absolutely, to throw an eye on this matter. And the properties and that bank seized from persons, underestimate properties to sell to other person, because he told me the property was $300,000. That means that if I was ready to pay the $300,000, that means Mr. Celestine would have a few $1,000s to terminate his retirement, where the sell a property that worth $300,000 less than, it's not so. And people of Dominica know those things, they're happening.
All right, somebody's saying to me, and I've heard that story many times before, apparently the banks have a nasty business, a nasty habit. When they repossess properties for sale, some of these loan officers, I've heard that many times, contact their bon gens to inquire if they have interest in purchasing. Remember, the bank lawyers give them the first opportunity. Then publish the properties in the newspaper. The board members buying the property should exempt themselves from purchase of the property. Obviously, he or she should know that's a conflict of interest only in Dominica. That's what the person is sharing with me. So bank loan officers, take note, huh? The cameras are watching. Good afternoon to you. The gentleman is saying all the right things. Much respect. This is mind changing, mind renewing. We're going to take our final break and we'll come back to close it up here on the Talk on the Block. Stick around.
Trading Limited does it again. Shop at Eastern Trading Limited in September for a chance to win. Every week in September, a lucky customer will win a $250 food voucher. That's right, a $250 food voucher. Just spend $50 or more and place your receipt in the box provided, and you will have a chance to win. Plus, shop on double points days. Eastern Trading Limited loyalty card holders will earn double points on selected dates every month until the end of year. So shop and earn more points. For terms and conditions and further details, visit our store in Roseville. Eastern Trading Limited. We're here for you.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
The views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
We coming to the end of our program here this afternoon. Again, Mr. Ken Shillingford, what is the message that you will want to leave with Dominique at this point in time as you return to Guadeloupe? When?
Yes, I'll be leaving to Guadeloupe this weekend.
This weekend.
You know, what I would like to share with my people is knowing that believe in yourself, believe in ourselves. Because too often when we see the foreigners coming to Dominica, we have tendency to say, for example, when we're in Dominica, we say, when you're coming down, the powers of words. Why we don't say when you're coming up? You know, always put ourselves in a situation of inferiority towards others. We have to know God created man and he created all men with their talents, their gifts. And the same gift he gives to American, Europeans, Australians or Asians or whatever, he gave it to us as well. So use our potentiality that God gave to us and just keep on moving. Just move on. Go, travel, pay ourselves a business trip, for example, instead of going to traveling just to see what, but go and see the opportunities, learn certain things, and come back to Dominica and try to build our country. And especially in something important, very important, which don't have absolutely nothing to do with the business. But what you eat, Dominicans, condition your state of mind. Eat what we produce. Eat Dominica, drink Dominica. We have the best. We have the best. Eat correctly, because what we eat condition our state of mind. When we eat certain things that come out overseas that arrive on the port, it's affecting not only physical but our mind or way of thinking, and that is important. And be united, and keep on moving, keep on moving.
And again, you want your money from the aid bank.
Absolutely, I'm keep on battling. I will continue. So yes, I'm not tired. I'm not discouraged. Absolutely not. This is just the beginning. I spoke to the PAL rep, which is my aunt, as a matter of fact. Which is my aunt. I spoke to her about my situation. She knows about it. And in Guadeloupe, it is really Saint-Sauveur. We can understand the guys from Vacas, they want to have the office in the city, but we, the Eastern District guys, we want to develop ourselves and have our office in the city too. So we are waiting to see what's going on, and then to see if we should take it.
So when you spoke to the power rep and the MP for the Carib territory, the Kalinago territory, what was the conversation like?
You know, they came on the spot. They saw all my equipment, but I feel in there's not sufficient, you
need to say a passion to resolve the problem.
To resolve the problem. They have to put more passion to resolve the problem, because they are the PALREP, they are the representative of the people. You see what I mean? And a few months back, the Prime Minister said his own self, which I heard, he said that the PALREP of Delices and Petit Savon, they came to him, they said, no, we need the bridge. That's the bridge the people want. The Prime Minister wanted to invest on something else, I think agriculture, whatever. He said, no, it's the bridge that we want. They are the PALREP. They are the ones that know what the people want. I am from Guadeloupe. I want to build that agro-transformation, the packaging in Canefield Industrial Site. But the agro-transformation, all the products will be practically from the same area, Castle Bruce, Good Hope, his jobs, all that. So I think that they should really think of our community. And as I explained to you, I'm going to start that program with the children to help them to manage, and eventually, if they respect the rules and the laws, if they can be shareholder of this business, they will be.
So how soon you intend to
I'm waiting on the Prime Minister, because as I said, I have a few properties that I purchased in Dominica, but I'm waiting on to finalize this matter with the aid bank, and it's from there I'll see what's going on.
Sir, thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
When will you be back in Dominica?
Maybe within a month.
Within a month.
Yes.
All right. Wish you luck.
Thank you.
Blessings to you too.
Blessings.
Bye-bye. Mr. Ken Shillingford, businessman in Guadeloupe, born in Dominica. Dominica, it was a pleasure. We're going to be, of course, connecting with Flo Dominica. I'm hoping to see if we can have an interaction with the aid bank to get their side of the story sometime.